Good evening, everyone. I want to thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of your hearing tonight in Vermilion County. It is a pleasure to be with you tonight. My name is Amy Brown, and I live in Belmont, North Carolina. I am a wife, a mother to two young boys, and a neighbor to Duke Energy utility company and their unlined leaking coal ash ponds that are right behind our neighborhood. So our story started back in 2015 when we were offered the opportunity to have our well water tested through the state because of how close we live to Duke Energy and their coal ash ponds. So when our water was tested, the results showed that we had elevated levels of hexavalent chromium, which is a known carcinogenic, so it's known to cause cancer. And we also had vanadium, and then there were some wells that had selenium, strontium, and arsenic. And I know for my own well water, I had hexavalent chromium and vanadium. Because of that, finding out that was in our well water, you know, it changed our lives completely. Because when you hear that your water is contaminated, that is a fear that I cannot explain to anyone. Because as a mother, just like a lot of you automatically go back to thinking, how many bottles have I washed in this water? How many pacifiers have I rinsed off and then put in my child's mouth that was still wet? How many meals have I cooked for my family using my well water? How many cups of water have my children drank? What about the ice? Because the ice is also made from the same water, so it is contaminated. I also understand that it has not been determined that your drinking water is contaminated at this point. But I want to point out that the thing is with coal ash is that we know so much more now than what we did in years past. And what we know is that it is full of heavy metals, and when it's disposed of in an unlined, leaking pit in the ground, that they're known to leak into the groundwater. And that is concerning. So, over 3 years ago, when all this happened to us here in North Carolina, and we started relying on bottled water, because it's been over 3 years for us now, I would have never thought that anyone would have to fight for safe water or clean air. I mean, isn't that a human right? I mean, shouldn't that be just a natural thing? I mean, we shouldn't have to think or fight for, clean water and safe air, but we did. So you must get involved, which is what we did here in North Carolina. We decided that no more are we going to allow the unacceptable to continue. So we stood up and we said no more. We started educating ourselves. And what wasn't an issue 20, 30, 40 years ago, we now know is an issue. And we need to all do better. When we talk about coal ash, it is never a good idea to have coal ash stored next to our rivers and lakes. No matter what state it is. It doesn't matter the utility name, who they are, how long they've been there. It's never a good idea to have it near our rivers and lakes, because that is someone's drinking source on down. And we can't have that. That is a risk to our water. So it is very important for us to learn all that we can about coal ash and the concerns surrounding it, so we can better educate ourselves moving forward on how we can create a better, healthier, safer environment for our children and grandchildren and all those to come after us. So we all just need to do a better job and get involved. Thank you so much.